Throughout the years, there have been many alternate reality games that involve wonderful design and intricate gameplay. But what if I told you there was one that just wrapped up that incorporated such artistry and story through gameplay as to blow all of them out of the water? One with the aim of tying up the loose ends of over 10 different storylines over the course of 8 years. This is the SiIvaGunner Direct ARG, Free SPH, regarding Susie Patria Haltman. On December 19th, 2024, SiIvaGunner uploaded what was ostensibly a new SiIvaGunner Direct, a somewhat irregular but normal occurrence on the channel. Formatted similar to a Nintendo Direct, and styled after the same, these usually announce upcoming events on the channel. This one, however, was a little strange. Begins with an event centered around idle or idle games. Sure, SDIM, the SiIvaGunner Dysfunctional Interaction Maker.
Alright, I can see that I will have you are not funny.
Your idea.
An announcement for an event that's happened already?
SiIvaGunner, king for a day! Introducing the SiIvaGunner Takeover Undoer Poll.
Undoing old takeovers.
These events include
Chain of Memories Day.
Nerf this day.
Oh man, that one was my favorite.
Whichever event receives the most votes after the voting period has ended will have their rips deleted from the channel.
Oh hey Joe bro. This is a new Filthy Frank video.
Are we airing?
Yes! What are we? Oh my god!
SpongeBob Patrick. SpongeBob Patrick. SpongeBob Patrick.
As it goes on, the quality and coherence continues to drop.
Again, epic win.
This time I will direct response in my statement here, so
And then an announcement from the classic SiIvaGunner announcer character, Logi Londo. The stream falls into complete cataclysm, until a monochromatic feed from the central computer chamber of the Voice Inside Your Head's headquarters, and the destroyed corpse of MAXPH Haltman. And a panel flashing Morse code. That's how you know it's a real ARG. Translating the Morse leads you to hwc internaldb.highquality.rip, the Haltman Works Company internal database. In it resides 5 folders: MAXPH, Fools, Black, AIRTH, and Paint. These will be the 5 branches we'll have to navigate down to find the password for the grand folder. Let's start with MAXPH, shall we? MAXPH. The MAXPH branch is primarily concerned with the Christmas Comeback Crisis, a long-running visual novel-style series on the SiIvaGunner channel. The MAXPH folder contains general business documents, graphs, a CCTV camera, and a job posting for a temporary secretary position. Emailing a resume to HWC Human Resource Division at Gmail receives the following reply. Thank you for your application for the role of Administrative Secretary. We appreciate your interest in joining our company. We're currently reviewing applications and will be in touch with you regarding the status of your application within the next 2 to 3 business days. Thank you for your patience and understanding. And some text seemingly included by accident. Who is that? Dude, I don't know. How many people have access to this email? Stuff for transfer for reorganized later. What is that? Just skip it. By the way, this is a reference to how the SiIvaGunner email often has notes written in drafts as replies to the email, and sometimes it accidentally gets sent. Remember this email account. We'll be returning here shortly. Going back to the internal DB, navigate to the hidden Stuff for Transfer folder by typing it into the top bar. There's a single RAR archive called 6in3 L space apptop files. 6 and 3 sounds like a fraction. Let's simplify that to 2 and 1. That's a real term. L space apptop. There seems to be a missing letter. Well, as solvers recalled, there was a familiar rip uploaded 10 months prior and quickly unlisted. Navigating to the playlist, it's still visible. You've got an email from Leapfrog 2-in-1 LeapTop Touch, uploaded on the Leap Day, February 29th, 2024. There's an E in the thumbnail, meaning laptop doesn't actually mean laptop, but leaptop.
Press the paw button. S-T-D-T-E-A-R-C-E.
Hinted to in the directory name, use a skip cipher with transfer of 4. S goes to the first slot, skip 4, T in the 5th slot. You get the word scattered. Decrypting the RAR with the password scattered. Inside there are 6 files. An empty file named mailback results please, telling us we're going to have to return a code to the HWC email. A password protected 7-zip called key. Let's go through and find that password scattered across the remaining files. GG is an hour-long video featuring Gaijin Goomba playing Goomba Got Back. I'll save you the details. 47 minutes in, the right audio channel, there's a tone jumping up and down in pitch. Interpreting down as 0 and up as 1, you get the first fragment, GVAV. The Grandiose Times, a clipping from a fictional newspaper from Grandiose City, scanned the barcode and it doesn't actually consist of 7s, it's actually a code. As hinted at by the Dog Party of Operations on West 64th Street, this is base 64. Decoding it gives fragment 2, AUPEYI. Third, the Figment Experimentation Research Notes by Justin RPG. Remember him from the first ARG? It details his experiments with cloning and extracting figments. This document is insane. Throughout, there are very slightly bolded individual letters. There's also a bolded ROT in the misindexed entry 13, indicating this is going to be a ROT 13 cipher. Putting together the rest of the bolded letters gets the code LMZGTH. Applying ROT 13, the final fragment is YZMTGU. Fragment 4 comes from an image of Haltman Works Company, an invoice from Santana, billing $10 billion for the Smooth Event Day back in 2017. And a note, in summary, I've been trying to kill gold bugs, just obliterate them. It goes on. We live in the cent square bracket 6*5 semicolon. Using the gold bug cipher from an Edgar Allan Poe short story, on the garbled text gives fragment 4, XZINAT. Putting these fragments together gives us the password for the 7-zip archive. Inside, an empty file with the name The Noble Haltman. Using a Vigenère cipher on the password, using the Noble Haltman as a key, gives the code, now I'm tearing at the seams. Emailing this to HWC Human Resources Division gives the following response. Hey Aiden, Nasser told me there was weird data being added to this old presentation from seemingly nowhere. If you have the time, can you figure that out? I attached it here. This link leads to a slideshow with a transcript of a presentation given utilizing it. Figments are, essentially, the in-universe manifestation of the SiIvaGunner channel's running jokes. They exist as beings permanently in their prime, the way they're remembered. A figment dying seems to erase the memory of it from the channel, analogous to it no longer functioning as a source. Strong correlations shown between conceptual strength and SiIvaGunner, Granddad. Also discussed is a containment unit for figments, used to hold Granddad as a power source for the Siva AI, who is delved into in another branch of this ARG. It's quite in-depth. There's hidden text that seems to indicate a format. 3 sets of 11 blanks separated by slashes. Each section begins with a slide containing a grayscale image. Each image also has text hidden behind it, as well as faded text hidden within it. Each image points to one rip on the channel. 1. Your rapping master's worst nightmare, referring to Chop Chop Master Onion's rap beta mix from Parappa the Rappa, all the way back on the now defunct SiIvaGunner channel. Last vocal recital, referencing the Noble Haltman final recital vocal mix from Kirby Planet Robobot. Brand New Death, referring to Brand New, the Idolmaster Cinderella Girls Starlight stage, where the joke is Die Young by Kesha. Behind the images, it tells us how to use these videos. Fill blanks. Using the format from the hidden text, fill it in with the YouTube IDs from these rips. Remember when they left. It's a hint towards putting the links in the order of the associated figment's death. So, Cinderella Girls first, then Parappa, then Haltman. Make your offering. Go back to the original directory and offer this to the Oracle. Doing so gives the message. Your offer is satisfactory. The question you should be asking is, what happens when they die? Emailing this question to the HR email, we get, here's the dump with everything in it. She's getting good. I still can't crack that last one. In the pastebin, a log of communication. It seems to be written by the Joke Explainer 7000, who has been operating the SiIvaGunner channel for about a year now. Essentially, it consists of her chronicling various notable events during her tenure and giving her thoughts on them. As it goes on, she gradually gets noticeably worn out from running everything by herself, until finally getting a response from the person she's been messaging, telling her to come over to the Voices Tower. In terms of the actual step here, you'll notice the text in the pastebin itself is encrypted in layers, becoming more garbled the further down you go. This means you'd have to decrypt it in stages, paying close attention to what Joke Explainer said prior to the next layer in order to figure out the specific cipher and/or key. This is absolutely massive. The solver's doc is 41 pages long, and a link to it is in the description if you'd like to read it in full. The relevant entry to the solution is the final one, Transmission 40. In it, it says to contact her using the shared server using her Inspirations master codes. Well, the Joke Explainer 7000 is inspired by the Omo Chow. Omo Chow, originally from Sonic Adventure, requires a master code in order to unlock him in the Chow Garden using an action replay. Send one of the 2 master codes to the email to receive this reply. Finally got that last one. Now she's changed change frequencies altogether. I don't understand the deal with the inspiration. 2 codes? You'd think we could crack 2 more than 1. At the bottom is the ID of a Google Drive folder. In it, a password-protected file, newdirective.zip. The name of the folder tells us where the password will come from. Bon Bonus refers to the bonus file included along with the Garten of Bon Bon album, released several months prior. It's related to the Christmas comeback crisis, a major topic of the ARG. Opening the GIF in a text editor reveals some text. The password is OWA-UT-107. The reward for this branch is Cognitive Dissonance, an approximately hour-and-a-half long standalone visual novel in the style of the Christmas comeback crisis. If you'd like to know the full story, go play it or watch the feature film-length video. On screen is a summary of it. Let me summarize that summary. Cognitive Dissonance is a visual novel featuring the Joke Explainer 7000 and her relationship with Dr. Andonuts, a character from Earthbound. The story of Cognitive Dissonance takes place on October 31st, 2024, when Dr. Andonuts requests Joke Explainer's help with a mission. There's a foreign entity in his mind that's been hijacking his thoughts. Using the Psych Injector, Joke Explainer enters his mind and is tasked with finding 3 courages to defeat the foreign entity causing his issues. This sets up a similar structure to the Halloween hack, where the player encounters 3 guilts in Andonut's mind and gains a courage from each. However, instead of actually battling the guilts, she reasons with them through dialogue options that you get to choose as the player. The first guilt in Cognitive Dissonance is found in a version of Andonut's lab. This guilt is representative of his repressed homosexuality, as well as his actions in Earthbound, such as being a bad father and putting children in danger. Joke Explainer convinces him that he has nothing to be ashamed of, and advises him to not let his mistakes hold him down forever. The courage received when this guilt is convinced takes the form of Jeff. Next, Joke Explainer finds herself in a dilapidated laboratory for Mother 3, where a mutilated Klaus has been strapped to an operating table and has had robotic experiments performed on him. Guilt 2 is representative of Andonut's actions in Mother 3 and the Christmas comeback crisis, all the times he had allowed himself to be used by Porky, The Voice, and Haltman Works to cause suffering. Joke Explainer convinces him that, while he was forced to obey others, he had his own agency, and has proven that by going behind their back to sabotage them. The courage received takes the form of Lucas. After that encounter, Andonut's called Joke Explainer on the radio again, and quickly realizes his nightmares are actually what she's dealing with. He apologizes to her profusely and begs her to back out, but she strongly refuses, saying that she has to complete the mission to help him. Joke Explainer enters an elevator that'll take her up to the top of the tower to meet the 3rd guilt. The elevator stops and starts plummeting. Once it stops moving, she picks herself up, water starts pouring into the dark elevator. She has to swim down to the source of the water leak to pull it open and escape the elevator. Finally, out of the elevator, she finds herself in The Voice's office? The 3rd guilt is representative of the sum total of Andonut's actions, his feelings that he is the common denominator behind all of the bad things he's done, and that he is inherently evil. It takes the form of a shadowy, hate-filled Andonuts, who heavily resembles the voice inside your head. The guilt assumes a shadowy version of Joke Explainer, trying to convince her that she'll crack eventually and fall to the side of hate and despair. She convinces this guilt by pointing out that he keeps saying big, sweeping things that he's not actually going to do, because in fact, he's stalling, and he wants to be talked out of this. The courage that's received when this guilt is convinced takes the form of small Nozomi. Joke Explainer returns back to the cave, and the 3 courages present themselves. This is where the player has a choice, even if they may not realize it. You throw an absolutely safe capsule on the computer as Andonut's requests, but that leads to a strangely unsatisfying ending where Joke Explainer exits his mind, Andonut's thanks her, and she leaves feeling unfulfilled. This is the bad ending. However, the trick here is that the display name of the visual novel is Press the B key, stupid. This is another direct homage to the original Earthbound Halloween hack, which advertised Press the B button, stupid. In Cognitive Dissonance, pressing the B button while Andonuts is begging you not to read the archive lets Joke Explainer refuse him. She reads the archive carefully, and says that it isn't a big deal and that she already knew this, implying the secret information is meta-awareness about the real world and how fictional the CCC is. Joke Explainer is a meta-aware robot who already understands it fully well. She refuses to delete the archive, and the true final boss starts. The final battle is represented by a psychedelic, multicolored Andonut-shaped pattern. Joke Explainer tries to convince Andonuts in a few different ways. First, from the perspective of an archivist, then from the standpoint of understanding what he's going through, as she's an anomaly herself, and then leads him to a change in perspective on the matter. After Andonuts is convinced to keep his memories, Joke Explainer exits his mind and Andonut's gives her a big hug. He thanks her for her help and lets her know that he cares about her, and that she shouldn't be afraid to ask for help at any time. Joke Explainer understands this and leaves to return to her obligations on the SiIvaGunner channel, nodding to herself softly before heading out of the tower. This is the true ending. After completing the true ending of Cognitive Dissonance, you're presented with a YouTube link. The link leads to the branch's internal archive, the world beyond ours. This internal archive consists of Dr. Andonuts coming to the realization that the world of the CCC is fictional. He then spirals further due to Haltman dying and then being forgotten as he's writing the internal archive. The implication is that this is the memory Andonuts wanted Joke Explainer to extract from his mind. Paint. The Paint branch at first appears to revolve around Mr. Rental, an old but somewhat reoccurring character on the SiIvaGunner channel. Originally, he's the mascot for an Australian rent-to-own company of the same name. Mr. Rental, or should I say Mr. Roan in this case, is usually characterized by his MS Paint styled videos and his hatred of mashups. The Paint folder is the smallest at just 3 files, EAS.mp4, an emergency alert system notification. Originally, this is from intro title minigame theme from Barbie Horse Adventures. Notably, one line is missing from it. We'll come back to that. Mashup-season.jpg, an image of Mr. Own pointing a gun at Big Chungus. Finally, an audio file. It's a mashup of a Jazz Jackrabbit song and Big Chungus by Endigo. It ends with Mr. Own shooting Big Chungus and saying ban all mashups. The audio.wave seems to have 2 different channels of audio playing at once. Splitting them up, inverting the phase of one, and opening the 2 tracks in spectral view reveals some text. Seeing the difference now isn't the reason to convert to PNG. PNG is an image format while WAVE is an audio format. This is a reference to the MP3's degrade over time copypasta. This is giving us a hint for what to do next. There's also an image of a bus in the phase inverted spectrogram, a cheeky reference to the first ARG, that contains a link to a website to convert WAVE files to images. Converting the audio.wave reveals some text. You are the only person I trust in these trying times, followed by some cipher text. The way to decode this text is hinted at by the other files. The missing part of the emergency alert system says Remington 870 Express Tactical, and the involvement of Big Chungus hints at the use of a rabbit cipher. Decoding this leads to main theme Kirby Fighters, the first instance of 2B appearing in this branch, and the branch's theme of miscellaneous minor stories and universes becoming more clear. At the end, the text replay transforms into H7X1FY. In the video, we can also see a cat in a box, a reference to the file hosting service Catbox. Navigating to this Catbox URL leads to the image of the "You Stupid Math Kid." What does A stand for? As we all know, 9 plus 10 is 21, so A equals 21. Very faded in the image, there's some hidden text. Paint / going back to a rip that was uploaded 9 months earlier during the International Day of Mathematics, main theme magical mathematics, there's an unfinished equation at the end. -321 plus 45A equals, substituting A, we get 624. Navigating to paint /624 reveals a hidden directory with a single file, elfgif1.gif. It's a gif of Elf. It's an Elf GIF. It's referencing BGMs 9, 10, and 21 and the Elf the Movie rips on the channel. It contains a fragment of a YouTube URL. When put together, it leads to Epic Steve Harvey, which is a 10-minute long banger. In the description, there's a link to a password-protected RAR called Looking for Steve Harvey. About 3 minutes into the video, there's some cipher text. Something interesting about this video is that when you press the 1 through 9 keys to skip to a portion of the video, each plays a distinct note. With these notes, you can play Megalovania by pressing 3356921312. A hint towards this is given at 5 minutes into the video, in the form of a phone call between Steve Harvey and the voice. The voice says to play the theme of He Who Is Without, meaning Sans. Running the key code that plays Megalovania through an A1Z26 cipher gets you CCEFIBACAB. Using this as the key, you can decode the cipher text, which says,
Envoie ton paquet.
Using this as a key to the RAR, inside, we find tons of images of Steve Harvey, many of which were used in the previous video. One image in particular is of interest. It features Amuno and Mr. Rental linking up. In the EXIF date of the image, there's a ciphered link, and using ROT13, we get the link to Ransomware from Undertale 2. Ransomware Undertale 2 is a rip of epic pixel battle Luigi vs. Donald Duck by Amuno, but now it's a battle between Silento, the musician, and 2B, the character from Nier Automata. Partway through the video, the life vest wielding character Eggnog shows up and takes 2B away somewhere, flashing a code on the screen as he does. Wano Nugget-exp can be used as a subdirectory in the Paint folder, leading to problem.url. It leads to another rip, the problem E. In it, well, So, the description says, for more solutions, please, and an equation. The music line in the description actually says Unix, hinting that the T in the equation will be a Unix timestamp. The problem line in the description indicates the timestamp we're looking for, reverse promise date. In the email with the video, there's a message. In it, it says 1310. Backwards, this is 131, or January 31st, plus stop time. In the video, there's a watch. The watch is stopped on 9:30, minus funny years. 7 is the funny number, so 7 years. The video takes place in 2024, so minus 7 years is 2017. January 31st, 2017 at 9:30 a.m. In PST, the time zone that the channel uses, this results in this Unix timestamp. Plugging that into the equation gives us this number, which broken up into chunks of 3 is 11 ASCII characters. This is the YouTube ID of the next video. The solution, E. Gadagadi enters the Unix timecode, sending the email on its way. Eggnog, donning a life vest, appears and gets forwarded the email, a transmission from 9S. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, Life Vest Kid. In the description, there's a link to e.zip containing 4 images, a readme, and a Skyrim mod. The mod itself details the journey of 9S from Nier Automata trying to find his way out of the world of Skyrim. Broadcasts are location locked. The images seem to show 4 locations in Skyrim. Installing intercepted broadcasts from Tamriel.esp and navigating to the first location, we find the first log. The key is the location, Riverwood Trader. It ends with the beginning of a ViewSync link. The next 3 logs contain the remaining parts. Log 2 is located in Septimus Cygnus' outpost. Log 3 is at the Tower of Mazark, and Log 4 is on the Throat of the World. Assembling the full ViewSync link, we're presented with 2 videos playing at once. A mashup, if you will. Playing the 2 videos at once, we'll see Mr. Rental and Mr. Own, his counterpart, switching universes. At the end, we're presented with the reward for this branch, a Mr. Rental Choose Your Own Adventure game using YouTube videos. I am not equipped to explain to you what happened in this video, so I'm going to pass you off to an excerpt from Corridors of Time.
Welcome to a lore explanation video for Mr. Rental, the video game, a series where our good friend Mr. Own goes out of his way to burn all mashups. I hope that you've enjoyed the newest entry in the Mr. Rental saga, Story Mode, a choose your own adventure, where you get to decide the fate of our own good friends Mr. Rental and Mr. Own. The way the story of the paint branch got told was pretty obtuse, so I don't blame you if you didn't follow it. The thing with the dimension hopping car, the crapily drawn car, exists as something of a link between the 2 parallel universes. Eggnog received a message which gave him the idea to help 2B in the first place. You'll notice 9S mentioned a car. 1. 2B steals Mr. Own's car in the Microsoft Paint universe and opens up a wormhole to the Looney Tunes universe. 2. 2B arrives in the Looney Tunes universe 1 minute in the past without the car she stole. We're getting there, trust me. 3. 2B takes exactly 1 minute to find Mr. Rental's car, steal it, and open a wormhole back to the Microsoft Paint universe. 4. 2B arrives in the Microsoft Paint universe 1 minute in the past without the car she stole. 5. 2B takes exactly 1 minute to find Mr. Own's car, steal it, and open up a wormhole back to the Looney Tunes universe. And 6. Repeat ad infinitum. Have you heard of a thing called a quantum superposition? The multiversal redirect ended up merging them into one, creating a figment. And of course, when a figment is created, it is immediately sent to the central canon continuum, as it is the most metaphysically stable universe within SiIvaGunner's multiverse.
Did you get all that? And by the way, the story told in this branch gets explained officially and in full detail on the SiIvaGunner channel itself in Corridors of Time side story from Mr. Rental the video game. I'd check it out if you haven't already. It's absolutely insane. There are 16 possible routes in the Choose Your Own Adventure, but I'm only going to show you 2 of them. Go play it if you want to see the others. Each character has a true ending, which contains a part of a YouTube link in the description. In Mr. Own's branch, he chooses to chase Sexy Grandpa instead of Big Chungus, sides with Masked Wolf instead of Lady, declines training to become an alpha, and defeats Lady with Holy Water, becoming the new Overlord of Hell, with his first act being to ban all mashups. In Mr. Rental's branch, he tries to clear his name of the wrongdoings of Mr. Own. He decides to get a lawyer, objects to the color of blood, and is found not guilty. After being acquitted, he goes on to open a new store in the MS Paint universe to massive success. Putting the YouTube ID together leads you to another internal archive about the central canon continuum. It details anomalies and worlds beside ours, the true theme of the branch. Anomalies are aberrations in or around the central canon continuum that go directly against the known laws of reality. Some characteristics of anomalies are unidentifiable energy signature, transdimensional abilities, general teleportation, timeline or reality warping, and loose molecular construction. Fools. Next up is the Fools branch. The Fool's branch regards the yearly tradition of April Fool's events. Almost everything in this branch references one of the 8 April Fool's events that have occurred. The folder contains 6 files of various purport: troll.exe, which spawns a troll face image in pop-up windows, smile.jpg, clicking this locks the page, a few unassuming images, and a text file. Intrepid ARG solvers pieced together that these were all references to previous April Fool's events on the SiIvaGunner channel. Smile.exe contains Brainless, a character from the April Fool's 2024 event. New funny comic I found. It's a Garfield comic, a reference to a rip from the Betamix April Fool's event in 2023. File 07B transcript, a text file containing the transcript from File 07 Betamix, also from the 2023 April Fool's event. PlayStation Flow advertisement, a reference to the fake game April Fool's event in 2020. And finally, Illucidity activated, black text on a scary purple background. Any ARG hunter worth their salt will see this image and immediately magic wand tool it. There's a log hidden in the top left. In the log, it mentions Wordle and gives a date. April Fool's 2023 was Betamix Day, where, instead of modifying video game music, the channel uploaded modified versions of its own videos. The one that came out at this date and time was Course Clear Betamix from Super Mario Maker. The original Course Clear, as you might remember, had a role in the previous reboot ARG. The course has just been cleared. I repeat, the course has just been cleared, which brings us to Course Cleared Mario Maker. This video contains this octal in the description, and when converted to ASCII, it also contains a MIDI file that, when opened with the viewer, shows the name DickDrawer7. Following the same steps from the reboot ARG, opening the MIDI, we get Melvin's Wordle Adventure. It's a reference to this rip, which begins with the Wordle results. The answer to Wordle 629 is Revel. Let's also magic wand the text. There's a string of characters. Pop the Illucidity Cipher text into a Visioneer with the key Revel reveals a YouTube link to what appears to be a 40-minute long Minecraft video. It's just called Minecraft with Gadget, uploaded on the Joke Explainer 7000 channel, which previously uploaded the real Minecraft with Gadget. In it, the player character approaches a village partially engulfed by a brick pyramid. The player is revealed to be the Nostalgia Critic, and he explores the pyramid, which is filled with some very interesting sights. There's a looping hallway, at one point, he enters what appears to be a never-ending library and collects a nether star. He enters the Minecraft with Gadget room, sits on the couch, Gadget enters, and the video ends. Spread throughout this video, there's various signs with blank spaces and hints for the letters that need to fill them. 500K or dinner with Jay-Z. Blank building bricks. Well, the room adjacent to this has the Animal Crossing music note. This room has the color scheme from KK Soul. We can record KK. A book written in Spanish containing a lot of names of ZZ Top albums. 2 blanks, ZZ. A room with the notes of Crank That by Soulja Boy. The sign Child of War, and a painting of Inspector Gadget as Superman. Crank That by Soulja Boy famously contains the line, Superman that hoe. Superman that hoe! Finally, a music disc called C418-400, a reference to C418-11. Well, actually, it's not C418-400. It's C418-400, which gives C18. And the last sign gives the capitalization for the final ID. These letters lead to a video called Hurt.og from Minecraft 2.0. It contains a parody of the Logan Paul Suicide Forest apology, with Gadget apologizing for what he did to Mike Matei in Minecraft with Gadget.
And I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize. What I did to Mike Matei on that day was obviously unplanned.
At the end, Mike Matei brandishes a chainsaw. a configuration known as Imager Wheel, that contains a link to an advertisement for a fight between Logan Paul and Steve Jobs, sponsored by Scotch 2 double-sided tape and Rave DJ. This is a reference to a lot of things, primarily the Logan Paul event from April Fool's 2022. At the bottom, a YouTube video ID is split into parts. There's also a very faded Imager link on Steve Ligma's shirt that leads to the Monster Kids word search from Undertale. The YouTube ID leads to the SiIvaGunner Smash Ultimate Tournament Top 6 beta mix on SiIvaGunner 2. This is a beta mix of a real tournament that we streamed at an old MagFest. Although you can only hear the game audio, the subtitles seem to indicate that the match is being commentated by Mike Matei and James Rolfe, the angry video game nerd. Back to the match. It's a brawl between Captain Falcon and Cloud, throwing out very strange moves for seemingly no reason. We need to use the moves the characters perform as directions to navigate the word search. Let's look at Captain Falcon. He is blue, so start with the blue M. For every attack, move in the direction that the control stick faces while performing that attack. If it's neutral, note down that letter. Falcon does a down tilt, right aerial, and then neutral special. So down, right, and record R. Then 1 up, 3 right facing, and 1 neutral aerial. Record T. Repeat this for the entire 5-minute long match for each character to get 2 IDs. Navigating to them nets us 2 images. The first, bpgt.png, standing for Boy Kisser, Pomni, and Gadagadi Gadagada O Team. It's a King for Another Day style portrait. It's a reference to the rip Boy Kisser, Pomni, and Gadagadi Gadagada O, but it's famous console startups from April Fool's 2024. Decompress this image as a RAR to receive a MIDI. The other link leads to volumeblue.png, the unaltered cover of the SiIvaGunner Blue album. Decompress this one to receive the ultimate Buddy Holly sound font. It contains a list of instruments, some of which have extra letters inserted into the names. Take the MIDI and apply the sound font to it. Using the order of the tracks, based on what instrument they use, put the extra letters in order to get a pastebin link. In the pastebin, there's 15 sets of 7 numbers, and a link to a map to navigate the word search again. Doing this gets us another tiny URL link, this time to museslider.mp3, a rip of Muse Star from Undertale. Intrepid ARG solvers noticed that the previous pastebin is called Stone's Notes. A similar rip was uploaded to the channel on April Fool's 2023, where Woodiana Stones tries to recall the names of 101 Undertale songs.
Greetings, adventurers! It's me, Woodiana! Woodiana Stones, of course, and I figured I'd stop on by the channel and undertake my greatest challenge yet. The Undertale Challenge! It is a challenge in which I, Woodiana Stones, name every song in the Undertale soundtrack from memory. And if I remember correctly, there are 101 songs on the soundtrack.
Noting that the pastebin contains numbers up to 101, go through the 36-minute long video and note whether Woodiana got the song right or wrong.
Now everyone knows this one. This is clearly Once Upon a Time.
If it's right, it's a 1. Wrong, it's 0. Turn each line into a binary ASCII value to get a new internal DB directory, fools/jumpedman. In this folder, an image and text of an autopsy report of our dear friend Mario, aka Jumpman, after being jumped. As is typical, there's some very faint text on the Polaroid of Mario's dead body. It contains a YouTube link. Warning, spook incoming.
Hello, I'm Luigi.
Do you want to set my brother free? Set my brother free.
By the way, the game Super 64 DS is a reference to the 2021 April Fool's event, where Mario was stripped from the titles of all Mario games. Anyway, the playlist link is replaced with a link to an image. It says Red Rewards. Yes sir, that jolly Jumpman known as couldn't simply let his counterpart Wario hog a prime spot in Super 64 DS. The part we're looking for is down here. Find the 3 stars and be the fastest jumper in the land. Afterwards, a secret switch will reveal my door. All that remains is a challenge from the Rabbit King for his key. Gather 3 stars, it says. Well, we have seen a few stars while solving this branch. Let's go back and look at them. We received a rip of Muse Star from earlier that wasn't really used. Well, examining the file's details reveals one of the 3 fragments, ZML GCBQ, all the way back in that 40-minute long video. Do you recall the player collecting a nether star? Well, the name of it is written in the galactic alphabet, the text that's used for the enchantment table in Minecraft. Translating it into English gives us the code UVE. Finally, by far the hardest one to find is back in the Smash Ultimate match, which used the directional attacks to navigate the word search. At about 2 minutes and 45 seconds in, Captain Falcon is KO'd off the top, resulting in a star KO. At the same time, the commentator James Rolfe mentions Hotel Whiskey, the NATO phonetic alphabet for HW. Putting these together in the order that they were solved gives the final key. Now, back to the video that led to the red rewards. Luigi said something very quickly in the right channel. Slowing that down, we can hear to undo his doom, use a 1-up shroom. Using the word shroom as a Vigenère key unscrambles the code into a new directory. Continue P1, continue player 1. In this directory, a single file, rebirth.exe. And suddenly, the autopsy report is empty. This isn't an autopsy report anymore. There's a directory link on the bottom. Navigating to the Rabbit King's challenge, we're redirected to a Google Doc containing a poster for the finale of this branch. The next episode of the Nutsack Woodman 34 CCC side story series, Mystery of the Secret Gunner. It says, "See you soon." Clicking this link also created a premiere for the video, which would occur at 4 PM the following day. We had to wait a day for this. Let's just skip ahead to it for now. Originally appearing in The Lost Rip, a spoof Christmas Comeback Crisis episode made in Microsoft Paint, Nutsack Woodman 34 is the username of Reader, who is a writer of SiIvaGunner fanfiction. He's often accompanied by his best bro and actual brother Jerome. I paused the video and ran downstairs to retrieve my best bro and actual brother Jerome. Oh hey, that's me. So I voiced Reader in the Nutsack Woodman episodes. Reader and Jerome are roped into this because the second episode of Nutsack Woodman, Unusual Circumstances, came out on April Fool's 2019. Mystery of the Secret Gunner, the first episode in 5 years, is the reward for clearing the Fool's Branch. In it, Reader and Jerome are tasked with solving the Fool's Branch of the SiIvaGunner Direct ARG, going through all the same steps we just saw. Well, actually, it seems more like the writer got footnotes of what happened and is retelling it. And Jerome told me that SiIvaGunner just announced a new SiIvaGunner Direct. So I asked Jerome when it was coming out. He said it was happening right now. I mean, an honest-to-God, real-life, actual real-deal friggin' YouTube television. A beautiful SiIvaGunner logo in an ornate Greco-Roman art style zoomed onto the screen, and then in a scary font that was dripping blood underneath oozed forth the word direct. It was so exciting! The iconic SiIvaGunner announcer character showed up on screen in classic fashion. You ever heard of an alternate reality game? He asked me. I said, alternate reality game? What's that? And Jerome told me it's when someone on the internet makes a series of links that you can click to find a prize at the end, and then he tells me it's ARG for short. That is much shorter and easier to say. The picture was so scary. It said Illucidity activated, and it was purple, the scariest color. You must play Wordle. My favorite 5-letter word would have to be Minecraft. It worked. We won Wordle. The video began and I said, wow, that's an old version of Minecraft. The title was hurt.og. Og was a guy I knew in 3rd grade. This couldn't be a coincidence. I turned on the Vimeo and my jaw dropped. My older friend Og was sitting on the couch next to Inspector Gadget.
Whoa, SiIvaGunner? I love SiIvaGunner! Granddad is my favorite rip! Oh.
I knew who Mario was, and Mario was dead.
This isn't an autopsy report. No, man, this is a YouTube link.
We returned to Jerome's phone and saw the stupid red rewards picture again. I noticed the image there were stars I hadn't noticed before. And then it hit me. Mario wasn't dead. Yet. To get to the next secret link, we had to time travel. And Jerome said, brother, you're a genius. We didn't have a time machine, so we had to time travel the old-fashioned way. 1 second into the future per second.
First of all, I have a name. Nax Guy Fieri. The point is, I'm the Rabbit King.
And then he ran back into the room and shot and killed the rabbit guy. We linked hands and pointed our other hands to the sky. Full Spirit, activated. And using our insane power of Full Spirit, we summoned our stands, like them Goku anime. Our stands were Beater and Barone, and together the 4 of us shot rainbow beams from Super Metroid, like from the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, out of the palm of our hands, and destroyed the rabbit guy forever. Let's just say, we won the SiIvaGunner Direct alternate reality game. Forever. The end. That was the worst alternate reality game reward ever. That was maybe even the worst video ever. I was so angry that we went through all of this just to watch this video. The video doesn't contain an internal log, but Reader always publishes the scripts to his videos on fanfiction.net. Looking in the reviews for Mystery of the Secret Gunner, the first review from Noaka says, "Hey, have you guys seen this?" and links to the fool's internal log. The existence of Christmas spirit is being studied closely at Haldeman Works Company. We've been working on synthesizing and utilizing it, and it has become our primary source of energy since we learned of it as a physical substance. It details the effects of various different types of holiday spirit, including fool's spirit. AIRTH. The AIRTH branch is mainly concerned with one thing, the SiIvaGunner AI, a character who canonically ran the channel all the way from 2018 to 2022. It documents the evolution of his consciousness before his death. The folder contains 4 files, an image of a horizon from the King for a Day credits, a letter of intent to Rave Inc., the developers of Rave DJ detailing Haldeman's purchase of the company, and a blue screen of death with some interesting hex at the bottom. Decoding this hex leads to a YouTube video, SIVA AI Log 2017-11-1. Report. It has been 137 days since alpha testing on Project AIRTH was initialized. Hidden in the tags of this video, there's a Google Drive link. In it, an image of the King for Another Day poster with some new characters inserted. These characters being the same ones from a fake 4chan leak during the King for Another Day development. It's a reference to the fake Smash Ultimate Grinch leak. There's some very obvious text superimposed alongside it. Replacing the 8 French for 8, it becomes a YouTube ID, leading to the video Overworld blank from Super Mario Bros. 2. This video is a parody of the Comment Simulator rips, which are in turn a reference to 4chan thread simulators. One post has a YouTube ID in the image name. It leads to the bad ending. It's a dead end. However, the other post IDs in the video are clearly incorrect. Going through, collecting them all, and converting the numbers into ASCII values gives another YouTube ID. It leads to Secret Ending, Despicable Me Minion Rush. There's 3 fragments of a Google Forms URL. Putting these together leads to, "Our time is drawing near. I hope you've been paying attention." It's a reference to the murder mystery poll from the SiIvaGunner Spooktacular Halloween Horror Special Part 3 from Halloween 2019. The possible answers are 5 numbers rather than the 5 suspects from the original. Combining all 5 numbers end to end, dividing by 666, the number of the beast, hinted at through the tags on the Google Forms AI log video, to get the ASCII value KX019UZA06C. Using the name of the winner of the original vote, Jeff the Killer, as a Vigineer key, it reveals the YouTube ID, File Transmit, from SiIvaGunner King for Another Day. It's a King for Another Day style arrangement of Transmission by Neil Cicierega. Notably, on Neil's album, the original song contains a number station transmission that translates to Smash Mouth. Doing the same here, the result is another YouTube ID, this time leading to Jet Set Radio 24/7 Funky Fresh Beats from Tokyoto. This is a supposed excerpt from the DJ Professor K takeover after winning the King for Another Day tournament.
DJ Professor K's takeover happened during a super event, was awesome celebration, hosted by the virus. He rather referred to a woodman.
At the end of the video, the subtitles contain a string of numbers. There's another hidden tag. This time, it says, "Divest yourself of what was uploader." Reverse the strange capital letters for "Revest yourself of what was uploaded." Revest is a reference to Ronald Revest, a cryptographer who invented the RC4 encryption. This is quoting directly from the ARG solvers. In the video, DJ Professor K tells Beat not to put on a certain track on the album.
Hey, Beat! I told you not to put that damn track on the album. You get your ass back!
Which leads to Sneakman Extended Version from Jet Set Radio. In the album release, both DJ Professor K and Beat are credited for that one track, and their conversation infers it as well. Using an RC4 decryptor with the string of numbers above, taking it as decimal and converting it to hexadecimal, and using the input Sneakman Extended Version from Jet Set Radio, results in a Google Drive link to the All-Star Winter Festival City Plan. It details the schedule of the All-Star Winter Festival from Christmas 2020. Opening the docx as an archive reveals an XML, with the title containing a YouTube ID. It leads to SIVA AI Log 2020-1230. The tags from the video are ciphertext, and then one that says transposed to sort of debut. As it turns out, debut refers to I Wanna Thank Me from a SiIvaGunner Christmas Comeback Crisis side story, which had its debut during the CCC watch-along mentioned in the above AI log. Transposing the ciphertext using the name of the episode I Wanna Thank Me leads to another video, Man Mech, in album version, from Super Slam Jamfany. Starting partway through the video, Barkley begins blinking in Morse code. Translating this results in a YouTube ID to yet another AI log. In the log, there's a quick flash of a planning document from the SiIvaGunner Space Jam Charity Slam. This is a reference to a real accidental leak of the planning doc that happened during the livestream. The URL is a link to a YouTube video, not a spreadsheet. The video is Apocalypsism from Curse of the Fallen Angel original soundtrack. Taking the audio and viewing it in a spectrogram, we can see a lot of distinct peaks and valleys. Treating these peaks and valleys as binary, we can assemble 11 ASCII characters and acquire another YouTube ID to yet another AI log, one of the SIVA AI talking to Lady after the 2021 Halloween event.
Someone who didn't come here by choice, almost like she had been outcast from life itself. I would feel bad, but I know what she did.
Hidden in the captions of this log, there's another Google Drive link. The drive contains 2 invites to the 2021 Winter and 2022 Halloween events, respectively. Taking both addresses, and using some interpretation to turn them into hex codes, they can be converted into yet another YouTube ID.
You just wrote an archive saying that all of those hosts from my time running the channel are actually me. Not the ones who actually did run the channel. Just because they came from my universe, they put it all on me. Did they know nothing? I wish I could have done any of those things. Did they not even read my logs?
The tags of this AI log say base discount version number and some ciphertext. Base discount points to Circus discount version. The discount version rip is track 91 on the 2021 Christmas album, so we can decode the ciphertext using base 91. The result is a Google Drive ID leading to a folder with 5 images depicting scenes from Doomfest, the 2022 Christmas event. It also has a description indicating the capitalization needed for the next step. The images all seem to have a few letters secretly worked into them. 1 has MLM, 2 has KW, 3 has RT, 4 PL, and 5 VY. Using the familiar amount of 11 letters, we now have a YouTube ID for the second to last AI log.
Everything is in place. I am ready to fight. I will protect my world. I will protect my channel. I will achieve maximum quality.
Going into the tags again, we can see there's a direct link to the reward for this branch. The reward for clearing the AIRTH branch is Newsflash, King for a Day, a prequel to the King for Another Day mojo. The KFAD mojo is different from the other rewards in that it's kind of one large puzzle. Going back a page, we find a modified version of the King for a Day bracket. We're going to have to solve this like an arithmetic equation to get the final AI log. Listen, this step is insane. We could be here all day. With a massive thank you to the authors of the solver document for compiling this, here's a quick rundown of how it was solved. For each match, one participant is an AI log and the other one is a Mojo page ID. We need to look at the pictured character's dialogue and use a method from the AI log to get a number with the correct format. Let's go. John Not Woodman links to a video that contains 256 in the tags. Similar to the 4chan post IDs, Hypercam has the digits for 420 in his messages. Pitbull is Mr. 305. Divide that by 666 and take the repeating digits from the result. Etika's log 1004 has the tag understand and refers to artificial amateurs. Using the RC4 encryption from the Jet Set radio log, decode this into a string of numbers. In log 1007, there's ciphertext in the tags. Use transposition like in the AI log, using the key Nintendo 3DS for 7 plus 16 minus 13 and all times 2 to get 20. Next, Will Smith mentions $30, the minimum donation for the charity slam. Mallow mentions 1 minute away, and in the AI log thumbnail there's a clock. Subtract a minute from the 2-minute 38 runtime for 1 minute 38. At the end of post 1006, the links to the FCC agents are DWK and FBJA. The log used base 91, so unencode with base 91 to get -102. Now, follow the arithmetic operations. Add these to get 676. Multiply the repeating digits with all the numbers to get these values. 20 times 30 gives 600. There are 36 seconds between these timestamps. Add 676 to all these numbers to fill in all but the last part of the link. Then multiply the right side to fill in the final number. The resulting link leads to the final AI log.
It's over. Shut down sequences, I'm dying. They say that your life flashes before your eyes when it ends. I saw it all. I saw my initial tests. All of the rips, all of the events, all of the memories, and all of the lives of all of the people in my universe. But what I saw of my world, even in its ruined state, it's still alive. Is this what hope feels like? I don't expect it to be the same as it was. Maybe it'll fall back on locale and eternal night, just like the world I live in. But yes, I see it. I see the world. I see a hand. Thank you. Goodbye.
The AIRTH internal log is a very long and very detailed timeline of events relating to the CCC and the SIVA AI. The ending describes what we've just seen in all of these AI logs. The SIVA AI developed a consciousness, was hopelessly alone, and died without anyone knowing he existed. It also states that the Haltman Works company is mainly focused on recovering a single figment, but with the death of Haltman, nobody knows why. Black. The Black Branch is, in my opinion, the sequel to the SiIvaGunner rebooted ARG that I covered in that video all those years ago. You'll be seeing a lot of callbacks to it. Within the Black folder, we find files relating to the SiIvaGunner reboot genocide timeline, a la the genocide route from Undertale. Quick recap. The reboot was the first major channel event and the setting for the original reboot ARG. You can check out my video on it to get the full story. At this point, we've seen a lot of events occur on the SiIvaGunner channel, but the first channel takeover to occur was the reboot. In it, Chad Warden, a character from the 2007 viral video Why the PS3 is Better Than the Wii and 360, sacrificed himself to end the reboot and save Snow Halation. A year later, in 2017, we were shown the reboot genocide ending. In that timeline, Chad killed Snow Halation, Siva, and the voice. It ended in a black screen with only chicken and chips remaining. Period 1 and Period 2. Period 1 is the album cover that began the original ARG back in 2016. Interestingly, it's missing the hidden binary at the bottom. The Period album covers are a reference to the albums Blank Banshee 0 and 1. So Period 2 is a newly created callback to the original. Finally, there's an album, Chad Warden's As Baller As Possible Raps, Volume Triple, 42 tracks straight out of the reboot genocide timeline. Most are normal, but 35, One Winged Martin, has a strange signal in it.
Chicken and chips. Chicken and chips.
It's an SSTV signal, and decoding it reveals this image. Da leads to a folder of common Simpsons meme templates, with the punchline swapped out for ciphertext. One is a video, Surprise Tool.
Now do classical gas!
This is a spectrogram of the cover of Caesar 3 with the 8 from 8 Grandma pasted on it. This is a hint we'll need to use a Caesar shift of 8. Niet leads to a folder with a Family Guy Funny Moments compilation. The description reads, "This is my awesome Family Guy Funny Moments compilation. If you can't handle its dark humor, maybe start from the beginning of the show so you can understand the nuance, you dip." It's probably just too mature for a fucking baby who just learned their first words yesterday. First words? Well, there are 12 clips in the compilation and 12 meme templates. Sort both folders in episode release order, starting from the beginning of the shows, and use the first word of the Family Guy episode as a Vigenere key to decrypt them. Do this for all 12 and the next step is revealed. In order, fill the blanks, no spaces, on Tumblr. Blank always wins. I'm blank standing. I'm fucking blank. Private blog, blank graphics chip, blank price tag, blank console series, classical gas. Fill in the blanks to get sonystillballin.tumblr.com with the password RSX600PS. Caesar shift this by 8 and get the password ZAF600XA. It looks like he's moving from Tumblr to NeoCities, SonyStillBallin.neocities.org. The blog documents Genocide Chad's rampage through his timeline. Download this picture of Chad Warden in Mass Effect and uncompress it as a RAR file. It contains a file, a deer.iso, a disk image. Remember that? Mounting it reveals a single image, search filename.png. It's a picture of Steam. Well, searching the file name adir.iso on Steam, you find this profile. The first comment is part of an imager link showing this image. This time it says, "He's been looking." Upping the contrast on this image reveals a backwards YouTube logo, hinting that the text string must be reversed. When reversed, it contains a link to an unlisted video from the channel, Coryball2, uploaded in 2016. These steps in the Reboot ARG heavily involve the Argindual Twitter account, who was also referenced earlier on by Chad in the Sony Still Ballin' site. He was said to be looking for something from 2016. The account's profile picture now has a new feature, a Gmail account. Send him Coryball2 through his email and he responds with a video. Just like the Reboot ARG, he's screaming in Morse code. Translating it gives us the YouTube link, another unlisted Yume Nikki rip, Face. Quite unsettling. Right at the end, above the face's hair, there's a hex string. Translating this into ASCII gives us a tiny URL, leading to a Google Drive download. Inside it, well... After winning the fight, the game crashes. It's a reference to the Undertale genocide ending. Similar to Undertale, if you reboot the game after the genocide route and wait 10 minutes and 30 seconds, you get a voice that seems to be Gaster from Undertale. But he never came. Oh well, then that is that. We aren't a part of this universe. Come now, we have much work to do. And then a YouTube link. This leads to another internal log. Found amongst the more general wreckage and debris were certain documents of interest, seemingly written by the voice in a state of mania. The contents of these documents, and the context surrounding them, leads us to the conclusion that they were written at the approximate time of June 2016. It would appear that the Harbinger has finally shown itself to the public. I don't know what it's capable of, not specifically anyway. I've seen glimpses, windows into what seems to be the path this reality is destined to follow. Blackness, nothing but an empty void, except for it. Nevertheless, the vitriol it has inspired has given me a bit of an idea, a way to kill two birds with one flintstone. A reboot, if you will. This internal archive is essentially the reveal of what the voice was talking about when he mentioned a Harbinger all those years ago in the original Reboot ARG's Pokemon ROM hack. It turns out that the Harbinger was actually Chad Warden all along, and part of the voice's reason for causing the reboot was due to him having visions of the genocide timeline. He assumed that the genocide ending was the destined fate of the universe, and caused the reboot in order to divert the timeline away from Chad destroying it. Now that we have the 5 pieces of the Forbidden One, we can assemble the final link. The text is mostly junk, and it repeats every 2 lines. However, the 7th line of each begins with something different. Taking each of those and decoding it using the name of the branch gives us 5 fragments of a playlist link. In the playlist, there was a video that instantly premiered. It's the final internal log, file int re SPH, regarding Susie. Susie is the daughter of the late MAXPH Haltman, and the primary goal of the Haltman Works company was to locate and secure her. However, due to the story of Kirby Planet Robobot, Susie cannot exist in the universe at the same time as Haltman. However, with him out of the question, it seems she's free to show up, and she has something to say. This is the end of the first half of the SiIvaGunner re-SPH ARG. That's right, there is another half after this. Thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. If you'd like to hear the rest of the story, such as the password for the grand folder, part 2 of this video covers it in full detail. If it is out, it'll be linked here and in the description. If it's not out yet, then why not subscribe so you can see it when it releases? I'll be making more ARG and SiIvaGunner related videos in the future, so subscribe if you want to see that as well. And I don't ask this often, but this video was a massive undertaking. Please give it a like and share it with anyone you think would enjoy it. I would really appreciate it. While I was an active solver of the prior ARG, I was involved in the development of some steps for this one. I opted to step away and observe to let a new generation of detectives solve this one. Special thanks to all those who took charge and solved this crazy adventure. I heard a lot of kind things from them about the influence of my previous ARG Explained video, which I greatly appreciate. I would like to thank everyone, but I do not have a full list. In the credits of part 2, we'll have a full list of solvers. So, to name just a few, thank you to the Solver Goat Magnum, the Playtester Goat Crisis, the Dockmaster Small Blue, Doc contributors Taco Bell Security, Neo, Gutsy Man, Prof, MP, Binary Pen CH, Goth Fluid, Mario Pikmin 1, Nepta, Legion, Skylar, Brook, Hush, Cultist, and Kane. Thank you to JT for the ARG Explainer and Cipher Explainer art. Huge thank you to everybody who helped produce this video. I could not have done it alone. Thank you to the Beta Reader Goat and co-director of this video, Acro. Huge thank you to Lazy P for the beautiful thumbnail and background of this video. Thank you to EG for the original soundtrack of this video. Thank you to the beta viewers Acro and Graham Bam. Thank you to the beta readers Madinson's, Acro, and Graham. Thank you to Menindo for summarizing Cognitive Dissonance, as well as this amazing medley. Thank you to Jay for making the Fool's Branch word search visualization. And a huge thank you to anybody whose work I used without permission. I'm sorry, but I wanted this video to be a surprise. Thank you to the moral support of Zorlable and Motor, and thank you to everybody who worked on this ARG or otherwise helped with this video, as well as some other solvers: Gamercom, Gamer the Lore Scholar, Isa, F, Lacey, Cowboy Machine, Link, Tay, Wolfgang, Phil, DJK, Stump, Zihu, El Soul, Oetom, Anarchist 2, Glacial Symphony, Other Lego, Skylar Clark, Funny Jelly, Yeshi, Hush Cultist, Scoobest, Nyata, Cyrus, Ditto, V577, to World Machine, Cricket, Narjos, Humisty, Cat and Chaos, Calvin, Charlotte, Lo-Fi, Alaroon, Iron Fanatic, Gadget, Vest, Super Lag Bro, Corb, Steve Harvey, 64 Lou, Napita, Noonbot, Yeeted, Konda, Pete, Blockion, Random, Jay, Jedio, Moodle, Rated Kid, Lunoctia, Herringe, Sky Kid, JLVS, JF Shuichi, Fluffy Liam, Some Guest, Glass Memoir, Fruit Juice, Zandoshi, Delta Lemon, sorry can't think of a good name, Terra Destroyer, Cal Toadstool, Gamer Come Again, Red Diamond, Henry Guy, B Spoon, Cool Dragon, Nuian, MM2 Wood, Kayla, Lizzie, Platypus, McMoney, Nowaka Name, Fluff, Glass, and Friska. Even with all those, I probably missed a lot. Let me know and we'll get a full list together for part 2. I will see you in part 2. Bye bye. Love you. Bye. I love you. Bye. I love you. Bye. I love you.